All right, good morning, everyone. This is the Women's Health class, Essential Oils for Her Needs. There's a lot to talk about today, so we're going to dive right in. My name is Sarah Cahayas, and I have been using doTERRA essential oils since around 2013 when I was introduced to them by a friend. I started with lavender for a burn, and it worked amazing. But really what convinced me was when my kids got sick and I was congested and I started using Breathe, the respiratory blend, and I could actually sleep through the night and so could my kids. And so we started to recover faster, just simply because we could breathe at night. We simply put it in the diffuser, a few drops into the water, and it helps tremendously. But that was what started me on my journey 3 years ago. And now today, just a couple months ago, as of August 15th, 2016, I started selling doTERRA and seeing whether or not I could actually turn this into a business. And within the last couple of months, I am on my way to a silver ranking within the company. And that's just simply because I love this product and I'm able to share it with other people. And I know other people have fallen in love with the products and have found their benefits as well. So let's jump into the oils that we can use. All right, so some common complaints that I hear from women, including myself, are sleep or the lack thereof, especially for moms of young kids and sometimes even into our older years when we start having teenagers and things. There's some anxiety, I think, sometimes that happens. Otherwise, there's just muscle aches and joint pains that can contribute to that. Overall discomfort in the body as it starts to change and age. Monthly discomforts, some of those are due to menstrual cycles. Other of those are actually due to continued hormonal releases in female bodies, even through menopause. Mood instability. Maybe this is one of our complaints. Maybe it's one of the guys in our lives' complaints, but still, we do need that stability in our lives. Insecurity, self-image, that kind of insecurity. We typically struggle as women by comparing ourselves to others, and just that overall sense of insecurity when there's uncertainty in our lives, whether it's career, relationships, financial stability, location of where we live, whatever those things might be. And stress. All of these other things contribute to stress, but the busier our lives get, sometimes the less we learn how to cope with things as they come. And so all these factors actually play into our bodies and how they actually are able to cope with the things that happen and how our bodies take care of themselves. So let's jump into some of the threats that we have. Heart disease is a big one for women. It's one of the number one killers of women, and it's a silent killer. We have to be aware, ladies, that stress affects us very differently than it does for men. Women typically put a lot of our relationship stress into our hearts, and we hold it in our guts. Muscle strain. For me, I hold my stress in my gut and in my shoulders. My dad will always tell you that my shoulders are constantly tight to the point where they are almost solid. And so we'll have to get more of that information from my dad at some point. But I know I hold stress in, and that is not good for my heart, and that's not good for any of us to be able to hold that in. The next one is cancer, obviously. Breast cancer is just one of them, and it's not just the only one that can affect us. But cancer is a big factor that we must be careful of, because our bodies do try to take care of themselves. They have the natural ability to heal themselves. You can see that with a cut, scrape, or bruise. It's very simple for our bodies to be able to heal itself when it has the proper nutrition to do so. Stroke. This is another factor that I have seen my grandmother go through, as well as a few others, even in through their younger years. This is not something that just affects the elderly, anywhere from 70 and above. This is something that can actually affect younger generations as well, depending on the nervous system and how our blood circulation is working, our brain function, and how our body is working together. COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, influenza, and pneumonia, kidney disease, and blood poisoning. All of these you can look at everydayhealth.com. There's lots of information, of course, out there from the medical communities, which is fantastic research, because we do need to understand how these things come about. Why are we struggling and so threatened by these things? Why are our bodies not able to fight these things off? And I find that the more we look into the dangers, again, the more stress we're putting on ourselves. So let's get into some solutions. First, how do we use essential oils? Everyone knows aromatic. It's the most popular. It's the most well used by all essential oil companies and by most people who have been exposed to essential oils at some point in their lives. It is the mist that goes into the air from a diffuser, humidifier. You just put a few drops into the water. You can also put it in a necklace, on your clothing. It's very aromatic, fragrance-wise. Those fragrances can get to your brain within 22 seconds. So we want to make sure that it's the cleanest and purest fragrance that we can. So as it goes in through our nose and up into our brains and starts to stimulate certain parts of our brain, it's actually doing a benefit. Topical. We can put this on our skin. The pores on your feet, on the soles of your feet, are the largest pores of your body. So if you're applying essential oils topically, putting them on the soles of your feet, looking into a little bit more reflexology understanding, the topical application of essential oils is something that we can use to treat our bodies. Within 20 minutes, an essential oil can go throughout your entire bloodstream. So frankincense essential oil, as we'll get into a little bit more with some of those uses, is one of those that can actually go through your entire body, penetrating the blood-brain barrier and helping with our brain function, our nervous system, and that's just one oil. But topically, you can use it in lotions, you can use it on your skin for skin irritations. The lavender that I mentioned earlier as the first oil I was introduced to, I put it directly on my burn. Now, I did not understand carrier oils at the time, so I just put it straight on and it stung really bad, so I don't recommend that. I do recommend using a fractionated coconut oil or some other carrier oil such as olive oil, avocado oil, safflower oil. Some of these are great carrier oils to just have on hand. Internal use. This one is kind of controversial. There's a lot of the companies outside of doTERRA and a few others that do not and cannot actually recommend internal use. Now, internal use is something that I want to dig a little deeper into. So when you can take it internally, you can add it to your water, and we'll get into which oils you can. You take into a veggie cap, and doTERRA sells those, or you can find them at your local health food store, even on Amazon.com. You can put a drop directly under your tongue. Directly under your tongue is kind of like the soles of your feet. It goes into your body so quickly when you're putting that right under your tongue, if you can handle the taste. I'm very sensitive to taste, but when I'm really sick, I'll put some under my tongue and on the soles of my feet. Essential oil supplements. I know many companies have supplements, but there are lots that absolutely will not make them. doTERRA is one that provides many varieties of supplements as well as the whole oils. So you can have them ready-made for you by doTERRA in the proper dosage, or you can make your own. And the other thing is cooking. And on that note, for anyone who is local, I am having a cooking class on Monday, November 14th, 2016, starting at 6:30 p.m. We'll have a few things for you to taste. I'll make something in front of you, and anybody who knows me knows I love food, and so I'm just venturing into the world of using essential oils in my cooking, and so we'll see how that goes. You'll be a guinea pig class if you attend. So here's some of the oils we can use for internal use. Not all of the oils can be used or should be used. Many of the blends are things that you may want to read the label just to verify that all of the ingredients in there are safe to digest or to ingest. So you can see this list here is very thorough. Again, frankincense is on that list right there in the middle column. And if you look in that first column, just about halfway down, Clary Sage. That is one of our favorite ones for women's use. Clary Sage is great for hormonal balance and moods, and so it just elevates and helps us function properly. I actually use straight Clary Sage, even though there is a Clary Calm blend. I use Clary Sage and rub it directly on my skin, right where my ovaries are, in that lower abdomen just above my hips. I do that, and sometimes I'll even add Clary Sage to my spray bottle for my skin. I'll do a mixture of Clary Sage, lavender, geranium, and fractionated coconut oil, and I will shake that up with some water and a spray bottle, and then I'll spray it all over my body after I get out of the shower and let it soak in while I brush my teeth. And then I'll use my wonderful hand and body lotion that doTERRA has. It's unscented and it's great for sensitive skin like mine. I have very sensitive skin. But I spray that all over, and the Clary Sage actually helps to keep my hormones balanced, as well as my cycle regular. And I have fewer cramps, and I have had intense cramps in my life from the time that I started my menstrual cycle all the way through today. I still get pretty intense cramps, but they are definitely diminished, and my cycle actually flows way easier. So I typically went from probably about 6 to 7 days in length, and now I'm down to 4. And that may have an age factor now that I'm 35 and I'm not so much in the younger years, but I have noticed quite a difference in that time span since I've just been using it for a couple of months. All right, let's jump again. Here's some tips. Do follow the recommended directions for use. doTERRA has great and thorough use instructions on their supplement bottles, all their product information pages, and you can also talk to your doctor. When you're talking to your doctor about essential oils, some are more skeptical than others. And if you're one who wants natural solutions, that is your prerogative, that is your option. But doctors won't necessarily always offer that. So if you would like a natural solution rather than a prescription that they may give, you can always ask. And you can certainly ask about essential oils and see what their experience is. You can ask about a certain fruit or whatever that essential oil is coming from, such as lime or grapefruit, and see what are the reactions to your body based on that food versus the essential oil. It may be a more general question if you say, how would my body respond if I started taking grapefruit right now, if I started eating more grapefruit? Rather than saying, if I started using grapefruit oil, how would that affect me? A doctor may be more inclined to say, well, grapefruit can do this, that, and the other to your body, and if you're taking medications, you should not have grapefruit because it can stimulate certain things, and ... But when you bring up the essential oils, they may not give you all that information up front. It just depends on the doctor. All right, next one, always start with 1 drop. As you become familiar with each essential oil and observe your body's response to it, you can slowly increase the number of drops until you achieve your desired results. That's always my rule of thumb. Start with 1 drop, 1 oil, 1 issue that you're dealing with, and go from there. And if you need to increase, you can, but first test out and see what your body's sensitivity to it and how it responds. Make sure that the essential oils have the proper chemical profile and are free of impurities and adulterations. doTERRA uses a number of third-party analytical methods to ensure that every bottle meets standards of composition and safety. This means that they actually look at not only the soil and where they're growing these. Most of them are indigenous and all global. doTERRA is all over the world. So they make sure that they work with the growers, one, to provide jobs, which is a fantastic thing that I've noticed about this company that I love, but also because they want to make sure that they trust each other to work in this type of relationship, and that they're providing the best and cleanest soil for these plants to grow in, so that no matter which product we're getting, they know from soil all the way through the processing of it, the testing is constantly showing that this product is safe for use internally as well as in the aromatic and topical applications. Use oils that are recommended for internal use only. Some essential oils should not be used internally. Again, that is one that you've got to just refer back to that list. You can certainly save this recording and use it for your reference. Otherwise, that is found on doTERRA.com for internal use. Please be sure, as the asterisk says, to dilute hot oils such as oregano and cinnamon for mouth sensitivity, because yes, they will leave burns on your skin or on your tongue or in your mouth. So please be careful. You can dilute them with a little bit of coconut oil. Never water. Water actually spreads oil because they can't combine. But for more information, you can certainly go online to aromaticscience.com. All right, here it is again, just as a reminder. One oil can help with many different issues. One issue can be helped by many different oils. So keep in mind that every person's body chemistry is slightly different. We all have similar issues, but the way we respond to the way we might treat something might be different from our friend or from a family member. And so we want to make sure that we remember one oil can help many different issues, but one issue can have many different oils treat it. So if a lavender doesn't work for you, maybe a frankincense will. Start with one drop, one capsule, one oil, one issue. Don't overwhelm yourself, because it can be. I know I felt extremely overwhelmed when I first got started, and that was just with 10 oils. And I had no clue what I was doing. But I have a tip later on of a little booklet that helped me get through. All right, let's get into some oil recommendations for us ladies. Starting with the sleep topic, because that's a big one. Serenity and lavender. My personal favorite, actually, I never really enjoyed Serenity up until their new blend came out. It has vetiver in it, which if anybody's ever smelled vetiver on its own, it's not exactly the most pleasant smell. I kind of describe it as swampy, but that's to each their own. Some people like it, some people don't. It has tremendously helped my son get restful sleep. So when the Serenity blend came out with vetiver in it, I started using that in his diffuser, and my kids peacefully go to sleep within 5 to 10 minutes nowadays instead of tossing and turning for 20 minutes. I think I passed that down to them, because it has typically been my pattern until recently when I started using the Serenity blend. Now, this bottle currently says calming blend, but it is now labeled as a restful blend because of that vetiver. Lavender is another one. It is very calming, and it can kind of slow and steady our heart rates just so that we're not so anxious. I know for us ladies, when our brains go, especially when we turn off the light, typically that list starts going through our brains of things that we need to do tomorrow and things we want to accomplish. So lavender can actually help. I typically rub 1 drop or 2 drops of lavender directly over my heart before I climb into bed, just to calm my heart rate down and to steady myself before I go to sleep. I may use that with a combination of balance, which we'll look at as well. All right, here's 3 that are specifically in the women's kit. So this is one you can add on for an LRP purchase, Loyalty Rewards Program, which we can talk about in a little bit. The Phytoestrogen Lifetime Complex, that one is specifically to support the hormonal balance within a woman. And this is something not just for that menstrual cycle time life. This is also for menopause, or even for those who have had hysterectomies. This is something that can help with hormonal production and balance when we're not quite producing things the way we should, or if we're slightly out of whack with things. Our hormones are constantly shifting. Any woman who has had a baby, your hormones continue to shift even after the baby's born for up to 4 years. And many people don't understand the reason behind that is actually very good, because it helps us adapt to the situations that our kids are going through. And while it can be torturous at times because we don't always understand ourselves, let alone trying to explain it to our husbands or to people around us, it can be very beneficial for us to just rightly be aware of the fact that there are things that can help us besides birth control pills to help balance our hormones and regulate our cycles and to help us with our moods. Bone nutrient complex. I have never heard of a single doctor not recommending some type of bone health to a woman. So this one is something that your body can actually absorb. It's not something that is going to bother your bone system. It's actually going to nutrient rich and enhance what is going on in your body. So it is a blend of vitamins and minerals. And this can be anything from teenage years during those growing pain times, all the way through once menopause happens and those hormones are out of balance and it's not quite processing calcium the way that our bodies normally would have. Going into balance. I have not shown you a picture of this yet. The Clary Calm is here, but I wanted to make sure I pointed out the balance blend. This is my absolute favorite blend, other than On Guard and Breathe, of course, but this one for hormonal balance or even just emotions. I put that in my diffuser necklace. I put that on my son's wristband that he can take to school. So it's not a feminine smell. It's something that actually helps to ground you. It makes me feel very, and as the word says, tranquil when I smell it. Just kind of calms me down. So if I feel like I'm really worked up or I'm very busy in my brain or even just my body feels tense, I take one smell of that and I immediately just almost want to melt into whatever I'm sitting on, or I just kind of calm down and loosen my shoulders. It helps tremendously for me. Let's get a little bit more into Clary Calm, the other one that was in that other picture. Clary Calm is that blend of, of all of the oils that can help with a woman's hormonal balance. And as you can see with some of the benefits that others have written about, temporary relief from cramps, nausea, hot flashes, and emotional mood swings. This has also been used in different studies for bipolar disorder, among depression, and other things that are hormonal imbalances. It can help to balance stress and other hormones, eliminate mood swings, clear up hormonal acne. Now, for application, I typically recommend that you put this on over your ovaries, just on the outside, just above your hip bones. And your ovaries are the ones that are going to help to pump all of that into your system to balance out the hormonal production. Another option you have is Clary Sage. And this one dates way back. So this is one, if we could study things that maybe Queen Esther may have used at the time of her preparation before she even met the king, all the way back to Cleopatra and things that they used and their beauty regimens, this has been one to help with calming of the skin, rejuvenating the skin, helping with cellulite and all of these other issues that women typically struggle with, varicose veins and aging and sagging skin, stretch marks, all of this. Clary Sage is a great hormone balancer, but it also helps with our skin. Whisper. This is one described as the personal perfume by doTERRA. Specifically, this is one that contains a lot of different flowers, some citrus, and vetiver root is another one in there, so it is very calming for our minds. But I have found this one to be almost like balance for me, where it's very grounding, but at the same time, this one is almost stimulating in my brain, so I feel as though I can do things and I'm able to kind of be more confident in the things I'm about to go and try to accomplish. This is one, if you look down there and you see the little circles, the A, T, N, you can do this aromatically and you can do this topically. This is not an internal product. And every product from doTERRA in their books and on their website will have these labels, A, T, and then if it's internal, they will put an I for the internal. The N stands for neat, which means you do not need to dilute this. This is something you can put directly on your skin. You can put this on your clothes and it won't ruin your clothes. Now, granted, with silks, you may want to be careful. But you can put this directly on your skin for perfume, and it will take on a very unique fragrance for every individual because our body chemistries are all different. So you will smell differently than somebody else who might be using it, and depending on your time of the month or depending on the the temperature of your body, different fragrances may come out more strongly. So the bergamot, ylang-ylang, one of these, even jasmine, might stand out more one day versus maybe the cinnamon or the sandalwood or the vanilla may stand out more another day. It's a very personal type of smell, and it is only in the 5 milliliter bottle. But if you're interested in that, I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. It's not as sweet for me, but for others, it smells a little bit sweeter. All right, here's a few other recommendations. DDR Prime. I fell in love with this one. I just started using it, and I already have noticed a big difference within my skin texture, and how my eyes are looking, and the skin on my hands is feeling. But this is one for the body and its cells, the oxidative stress. So anything that is stressing our bodies actually contributes to that disintegration of our skin and all of that elasticity that it used to have before we were stressed or when we were younger. Like at my daughter's age, that very vivacious 5-year-old stage. The PB Assist, this one is 10% off this month. So anyone with LRP or already a member, you can get this one for 10% off. Just go ahead and add it to your cart. It'll automatically take that 10%. It helps with the gut health. If you consider probiotics and prebiotics, it's all in here. Great information on doTERRA.com, so you can read out all of the ingredients that are put into this. There's over 5 billion live cells that go into one little capsule. It's incredible to see the amount of vitamin power that they can get into these things. Root to Tip Serum. This is one I haven't tried yet, and I actually did not know it existed up until I started researching for this class. But this is one that can help to nourish, moisturize, and protect your hair and scalp. And I would highly recommend it if you're one with thinning hair. As I started researching this, thinning hair, sometimes it's based on hormonal imbalance. Sometimes it's due to other disease or infections that we start losing our hair. Sometimes it's just simply because we had a baby. And sometimes this Root to Tip Serum can help to strengthen our hair from the follicle all the way out. Mito 2 Max. This improves stamina naturally without the use of harmful stimulants, and it's caffeine free. But this is one that's actually in the Lifelong Vitality Kit, and that is something for people who want to enroll and become a member this month. You can get it free next month when you start using your loyalty rewards program. So we'll talk about that. But this is highly effective in giving you an energy boost naturally. It's not something that makes you jittery or anxious. It just feels like you can do more. Peppermint beadlets. I keep these on hand for everything, especially for samples. When somebody feels like they're tired or if their stomach is upset, I will just give them a little beadlet, guy or girl, and just help them to freshen their breath. They can swallow it down super easy because it's tiny. Even my kids can swallow it. My daughter can't swallow pills yet. But when she has an upset stomach, I'll have her swallow this down, and it helps tremendously. Virage Facial Serum. I've used this one, and oh my gosh, the silkiness of my skin. When I apply it at night and I wake up, I feel like I don't want to wash my face because it feels so smooth. But I highly recommend their facial series, their cleansing lotion, their foaming face wash. All of these are tremendous for the skin, and my skin feels so refreshed and nourished. Clary Calm we've discussed. And well, I don't find this to be the best one for my cramps. I use Deep Blue for that one. I do find that it helps with the hormones and the mood swings. So like I said, one oil can affect somebody very differently than somebody else. So whatever essential oils you use, be sure to choose one that can give you the most options for use. The brands out there, many are going to show you that they can do the research and they can do the testing that doTERRA does. I'm not a scientist. I can't verify any of that, but I will say that I trust doTERRA as a company, and I know that they are very thorough and very candid about what they're doing with their products. So just make sure you choose an essential oil that you can trust and something that you want to be able to use in as many options as possible. If you're going to plan on using essential oils to treat illness or hormone balances, then you will want to consider taking internal use essential oils as well as topical application. Make sure that you're getting all essential oils in your bottle as well. Some companies will dilute prior to sending it out, just for skin sensitivity purposes or, to cut costs. Choose an oil or product from a company you can trust, from their sources, growers, processing, research, and who is trusted in the medical community. And I'll get into that in just one second about doTERRA. So not everyone is the same. What works for you may not work as well for someone else, as we have said. Let's get into some holiday treats and specials. These are only while supplies last, but they have a passion lotion, and I believe, sorry, that this one is already sold out, though they may have another release of it at some point, but currently I believe this one is sold out. They have a kit. This one is great for Christmas gifts. They became available November 1st, so go online quickly to place your orders. The body scrub, the body butter, and socks. Oh my goodness, talk about soft feet and healing of cracked heels and just that kind of calloused feel on your feet. This one is fantastic for a Christmas gift. The kit comes with the socks, body butter, and body scrub. The passion lotion is sold separately. Here's another couple of gifts. The lavender dryer set. It does come with the 15 milliliter lavender and the wool dryer balls. It comes with 4, and you can include 2 to 4 in your dryer just to reduce the time and to leave your fabric softer. This is way better than the dryer sheets because you're not getting any toxic smells. You're actually getting a calming fragrance. And you don't have to use lavender if you don't want to. Some people choose to use Purify, which can help get rid of sweaty gear. If your son is in soccer like mine was, and or hockey like some of my friends' kids are, that smell that can kind of get into clothing, you can put Purify in those wool dryer balls, and it can help eliminate those odors as well as disinfect. Melaleuca is another one that you can use, or lemon, just whatever fragrance you really like on your clothing. And start to use those things to help with your laundry and to fluffen things up a little bit easier. Cinnamon drops are new, and anybody who loves cinnamon, that one is a great one. Cinnamon has a number of benefits, including being something that helps the libido. Let's move on. Polka dot storage case. This one I had to order a bunch because I want to give these as gifts to people who use oils. It's only $15, which is fantastic. Now, for those of you who are using the Loyalty Rewards Program, or LRP, this does not contain PV, so please watch out when you make your purchase, and then update your LRP cart as soon as the purchase is complete, because this will be removed, so it will not be purchased monthly. If you have further questions, please comment below or just message me. All right, here are our specials that are only for new enrollments. Here we go. So in November, if you decide to enroll and you decide, I want to become a member, whether it's as a wholesale cost member, or you want to, maybe one day get extra products because you're sharing and getting other people to enroll. If you want to earn free products, you don't have to do it as a business, but you can eventually if you choose. But anybody who enrolls in November, next month, doTERRA wants to reward you when you start your Loyalty Rewards Program by placing another 100 PV or product value purchase. You will get a free kit of the Lifelong Vitality. And I apologize, I need to correct myself from earlier. The Mitomax is not in this trio. As you can see, the Microplex, the E-Omega, and Alpha CRS. There's more information online, of course, so feel free to go to doTERRA.com and look up Lifelong Vitality. All right, member benefits. You'll get the highest quality product on the market for the best price, earn rewards as you desire, earn free products. You don't need to work a business unless you really want to. It's not for everybody, but if you're somebody who loves teaching as I do and has really experienced the benefits of essential oils and wants to make a paycheck, then put forth some effort and see where God takes you with it. Once you become a member, And even before you become a member, there are resources and classes such as this one and ones that you can go to face-to-face for learning how to use essential oils. Here are the enrollment kits currently. Aroma Touch is one, very much like a massage technique, and it can help with the diffusion as well as the actual application on muscles. Family Essentials, Cleanse and Restore, Family Wellness, which is already diluted bottles that you can roll on. There's one in there called Cheer that I love using on my son because he can be a grouch in the morning. So just before we take off and walk to school, if he's in a grumpy mood, I'll just swipe his neck with it, and it's already diluted so it won't bother his skin. And I can just see the turnaround within 20 seconds or less. He starts acting like a whole new person, more positive and more ready to go. The Home Essentials and Family Essentials are very similar, except the Home Essentials is the 15 milliliter bottles for all of them except the deep blue. And the Family Essentials kit is 5 milliliter bottles for all of them. The Family Essentials kit also has On Guard beadlets and peppermint beadlets, whereas the Home Essentials kit has the pedal diffuser. The Natural Solutions Kit, this is kind of your middle of the road. Somebody who is considering doing the business or just says, you know what, I want to jump right in and I want to say that I want to try as many things as I possibly can to help my home. You'll get a diffuser, you'll get a bunch of products from On Guard, including the toothpaste, you'll get the Lifelong Vitality Trio, plus a PB Assist, plus a GX Assist, plus a Deep Blue Rub, which is my husband's favorite for his muscles, plus a shampoo, conditioner, a Breathe Vapor Stick, a Past Tense for headaches, a bunch of oils, and a storage box to put them in. This is an amazing kit in order to get you started. Plus, you'll start at 15% back in credits rather than 10. And for that, more information about getting rewards back through LRP, that is a whole other discussion. So you can always look that up or go to other teachings that I've recorded and shared with you on here. Oil sharing kit, every oil kit, diamond kit. Diamond kit is I'm jumping into the business and I'm going to invest in my company and I'm going to be ready to talk about whatever oil. And this includes pretty much every product in doTERRA plus a carrying case and a whole bunch of others. Everything in here is specifically designed to meet certain needs that you have. And one thing I did not mention with the Family Wellness Kit is it has the PB Assist, Lifelong Vitality Supplements, and the chewable vitamins for kids, which my daughter loves, and they're a strawberry watermelon flavor. She can't swallow pills yet. She's 5.5, and she absolutely loves these vitamins. My son begs to take another PB Assist even after the one that I give him every day because he loves that like pixie stick kind of flavor that it has, but it's the same as the PB Assist for adults, except it's in kid form. So it's very easy for them to swallow down. It's in pixie sticks type style sachets that they can cut open and swallow down pretty easy. All right, so here's some free gifts that I can offer you today when you become a member. First and foremost, I always want to give you an A to Z guide. This is what I mentioned earlier on how I got started. I was so overwhelmed with so much information out there about all of these oils and so many uses, and I just didn't even know what to do. So my friend gave me an A to Z guide, and it changed everything because now all of a sudden I had page by page in alphabetical order any need that I might have, including dandruff, diabetes, high or low blood pressure, canker sores, anything. You just go A to Z and look up the issue that you're dealing with, and it'll give you oil options and how to use them, whether aromatic, internal, or topical. This is a great one, and that's my free gift to you, whether you are local or long distance. I can send this in the mail, but any membership kit that you get or any enrollment that you get, I will send this to you as a free gift. If you decide that you want to go a little bit bigger and do a 100 PV order, which means that the product value is sometimes different from the dollar amount, depending on whether that product contributes to a charity or the manufacturing of it and the bottling of it, it needed extra money to go to where we are paying for these things to be made. Most of our oils are dollar value for PV. So you will see that there's not many products that actually change in that, but that PV is what you're going to be looking at when you place orders to get your freebies, not the dollar amount. So 100 PV order will get you a free toothpaste, which I love. My husband doesn't like cinnamon, so he doesn't like this, but I absolutely love my toothpaste. And it has cinnamon, clove, wild orange, peppermint, and wintergreen, just to name a few of the essential oils that are in it. If you know the On Guard blend at all for protection, this has that in there. And clove is one, if your doctors are concerned at all about natural toothpastes, tell them to research clove. It'll give them answers to things that they may show concern about when toothpaste does not contain fluoride. All right, the next one would be a 400 PV order. The Natural Solutions Kit is 400 PV. So if you decided that you want to jump right in and get all the benefits of doTERRA's products and essential oils, you would get a free On Guard toothpaste and my favorite lotion of all time. And I've tried to switch back, but I can't. I have to keep this one on hand at all times. That lotion will be yours as well as a free gift from me. Next month, not only would you be able to get the Lifelong Vitality Kit and those 3 vitamins, but you would also get a free body wash when you place a 100 PV order in December. All right, and here's some breaking news. So it is official. doTERRA has partnered up with and is partnering with Johns Hopkins University. This is substantial for the validity of what doTERRA is doing. The doctors that they're bringing into this, from pediatricians to optometrists to just general physicians, are all coming to work with this company to do research and to test these oils, to use them themselves. And it's wonderful to see that we have doctors' support and even Johns Hopkins University research to see just how amazing this company and this product is. Thank you all so much for joining me today. That is me with my 2 little ones, just from a couple of days ago when we were outside playing cornhole, trying to enjoy Florida weather, you know, while we have some good fall weather out there. It doesn't last long. But I love the benefits that the oils give to my kids. There are many, many, many different benefits and oils that we did not get to today. But as I said, it can be overwhelming. So I don't want to give you too much, but please post your questions and any oils that you might be using to share with anyone else who watches this video so that all of us can learn together. We're all learning about this, and I'm so thankful that God provides us with such amazing things to be able to care for our bodies, our homes, our kids, and just overall well-being. I'm so thankful for you all joining me. You all have an amazing day. Bye, everyone.